Hello and welcome to Talk from Superheroes. Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Ivamy.
And I'm Diana McCullum.
And you're listening to Talk from Superheroes, where every week we discuss a piece of heroic television or film. And this week on the podcast, we are talking about the Fantastic Four, the First Steps. First Steps.
First Steps. That's the Fantastic Four we're doing. We're sorry it's a week late. We were at Comic-Con.
We were at Comic-Con.
We're just going to tell it like it is.
We were at San Diego Comic-Con. It was a wonderful time. Thank you to those of you who said hello. To those of us, thank you to me.
I said hello to you every day.
No.
And you said hello to me. And then the few fans we saw also said hello to us.
Thank you to the kind fans who said hello and showed some love. But yeah, we were there. We did the con. I did some shows. It was a fantastic time.
I see what you did.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you sincerely didn't.
I honestly got it a little late.
Okay.
Which is why the reaction was like that.
Yeah, we got some Fantastic Four shirts for Given Blood. It was a fun time to be had at San Diego. But this week now we're a week late. We're talking about Fantastic Four, the First Steps. I keep adding a the.
You're a big the. I think there's no the's at all.
It is the Fantastic Four. It is the Fantastic Four. First
It
Steps.
is? Okay, there's one the. All right,
So-
well, I was going with 0, and you were going with 2.
So, me in the middle. We're a week late, but we're still going to give you a spoiler-free review. So in case you're on the fence about seeing it, not sure if it's worth your time, or just want a taste of the episode before you do go check it out, we'll give you a spoiler-free review. Then once you hear the theme music, we will be entering the spoiler-filled section, so spoiler warning there. So let's start with a spoiler-free review. The usual, the simple question. Diana, did you like it?
I loved it. I'm over the moon. I haven't loved a movie in a while. This felt so good, but I absolutely loved it. It just feels nice. It just makes you feel nice. It's got this beautiful aesthetic. It's so fun to look at. So much of it's practical. It's just wholesome and kind, but there's still action, but there's low stakes and there's high stakes, and the family feels like a family, and they all like each other, but they still rib each other a little bit because that's what family does. And I like the competency of this team. I like the adventure we're going on. I like the sci-fi aspects of it all. I have one negative. I'll say it right now, actually, spoiler. I think the CG looks bad overall, but most of this movie is practical, and the practical stuff is incredible. So it doesn't even matter. It's a phenomenal top to bottom movie. I absolutely loved it. I think it's great. Andrew, did you like The Fantastic Four: First Steps?
I wish I liked it as much as you. I like it fine.
Okay.
I think it's good, but not great. I think it did get the most important things correct. I think that the heart is there and the vibes are good.
Vibes are great.
The vibes are good and great. Like, I like its style. I like its tone. I like these characters. The heart and the vibes are good. I found the pacing a little bit off. I think that not quite enough is going on. There's not enough engagement in anything. It's really just kind of one plot device. Like, its act structure is pretty clunky and doesn't quite. And we were like, oh, it's sub 2 hours. That's actually a nice brisk runtime, and I don't feel like it earns it. Its pacing is kind of glacially slow without enough going on, and the CGI looks pretty bad. But the vibes are good, the style is good, the costumes are good, the performances are excellent, and the family vibes are wonderful. The heart of it is there. They got all the most important things, I think, right. This is the closest I think a Fantastic Four movie has ever come to getting it right, in my opinion. But it's still just not quite there. There are just some real, like, craftsmen flubs along the way. Like, the heart and the intention of the artistic intent is there, but from craftsmanship, I'm like, I think you flubbed a few different things here.
I'm not going to fully disagree on pacing, because I will say I really enjoyed it, but this was a first viewing, and like, there's so much to take in. This beautiful aesthetic, it's got a lot going on, just like visually. So I think there was a lot to take in, but I will say, yes, I agree. There's not enough action sequences. And I think on a second viewing, I would be a little bored. For a first viewing, I was quite entertained, but I can totally agree that on a second viewing for me, I would be like, it was a little slow. Yeah, so yeah. I'm not going to disagree on those points.
And even, like, I won't give it as simplified a criticism to say it needs more action pieces, but it needs more stakes, more tension. It's really only kind of one threat. There's not a lot of interpersonal stuff or stuff where I'm like, oh boy, the darkest stuff. How are they going to rise up out of this one? It's really just kind of like a 90-minute 90s action movie where it's just, there's a problem, it's coming at us, how do we solve it? There's not a lot of complication or a lot of things to carry the plot throughout it.
See, I would say I actually like that the stakes are low and high. It's spoiler free, so I won't say what they are.
Yeah.
But I agree that they don't execute them with a lot of tension.
Yeah.
On paper, it's like, what a great work on the stakes. People are really going to care. But at the same time, it's like, oh, this is fun, but I'm not like invested fully in what's happening. I'm not like, I think we're going to die.
A lot of working on the resolution just involves looking at computer screens and laser beams going over rooms and people. And it just, there's no tension or excitement in that. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So we're just staring at some make-believe science for a lot of this, and it just
I like those parts. I thought that was fun. Yeah, that was cute and fun to me. But then I expected the action scenes to be a little bit more tense.
Right. And I'm saying it can go either way. They either need more action or they need more like dialogue or reason to care. You can't show me bland science and then have kind of bland action. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I only liked it fine.
I still loved it.
All right. Well, that's great. That's great. We're in disagreement on this one, but and can it be spoiled?
Not too much. I mean, the plot's pretty similar to other Fantastic Fours. Not exactly. Like, there's a few, but like, if you've seen the trailers, you know anything about the Fantastic Four, not really.
Yeah, I also agree. It's a fastball over the plate. Like there's no twist or turn.
I mean, yeah, I will say, since we're in the spoiler like free section, you can just watch this movie without seeing any MCU other stuff. This is a standalone film. If you've been trying to like get back in or you've been out for a while, you can go right in on this one.
It is nicely self-contained.
Yes, it is just a like, you don't have to know shit about the MCU.
Yeah, there's maybe one thing that we'll get into in the episode, but a relatively self-contained type of thing. You definitely don't need to see other movies for sure.
You don't see other movies.
And yeah, I don't think it can be spoiled. I think that this is a real A to B high school play type of a plot line.
High school play.
There's not much.
Oof.
There's not much depth going on here, so I don't think it can be spoiled at all.
Damn, that's a hurtful way to say there's no spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, big person bad, big person hit you, don't get hit. That's the movie. That's just 100% of the movie.
I've seen some really good high school plays. That's fine.
Yep. So we agree, though, that it can't be spoiled. Let's get in now to the spoiler-filled section. Let's talk more about the Fantastic Four First Steps. All right, we have seen the Fantastic Four First Steps. I'm so glad you loved it because this is a property that means a lot to you and you've been very excited for this and you wanted it. You were rooting for this.
I was rooting for this. And like, I won't root for any Fantastic Four. Fan Four Stick was on in our hotel room over the weekend and we were like, this sucks.
This ain't it.
I'm not a die hard. They're all good. I will say what you said earlier was I think this is the closest to a Fantastic Four movie. I'm actually still going to pick Silver Surfer over this.
Wild. Wild choice.
Well, now that we're in the spoiler-filled section, I think Silver Surfer is almost the exact same plot, but it's an hour and a half long, and it just fucking moves.
I do agree with you there. It is the right amount of movie. This movie should be, and I know, like, we were so excited going in to be like a reasonable length,
Less than 2 hours.
It doesn't earn it. It is the plot of Men in Black, which is a 90-minute movie, which is thing coming to destroy Earth. Oh no, don't. It didn't. We won. There's no complications. There's no twists. There's no turns. There's nothing of interest until that incident happens. It's just having fun with people. It's Men in Black. It's 90 minutes. It's a 90s popcorn action movie. It takes too long to get there. And I agree with you that the Silver Surfer one from
2005.
18 years ago, yeah. That actually does move at a brisker and a cooler pace than this.
Yeah, because I will say you could have 2 hours if there was an origin story, but the origin is like 5 minutes.
And I'm not going to complain about. I like that there's no origin story. I like that we're just going for it.
I loved it. This is exactly what I wanted from Superman 2 weeks ago. When Superman just started, and I was like, I need the status quo of Superman's life. Has he hit his low point? And then this movie started, and I was like, vindication! Just a 5-minute like montage of like all the guys they fought and how they got their powers and what they were like before. And now we're 4 years in. They've been the Fantastic Four for 4 years. I was over the moon. This is exactly what I wanted from Superman. I feel like we're on like exact opposites of like you like Superman a lot more and I only like Superman 5.
I think a little bit here, yeah.
But what a great month for just like superhero movies that make you feel good.
Just make you feel
Just,
good.
like,
The vibes
nice,
are good and the
nice,
heart is
wholesome
good.
Vibes.
Yes, yes. Now, I'm glad that you really like this because, you're rooting for it. You want it to win. You like the Fantastic Four. But one question that I do have is that you had, as much as you were rooting for this, you had no faith or love for Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm going into this.
I did not.
How do you feel leaving this?
I think he was pretty good. I think he's a pretty good Johnny Storm for what they did here, which is actually, I think, quite a different take on Johnny because in like the Chris Evans kind of version, not just Chris Evans version, but like this is like the standard Johnny. Johnny's very reckless. He's a hothead. He's a womanizer. He's very impulsive and immature. In this version of Fantastic, but usually Johnny just snuck aboard the spaceship into space and isn't actually an astronaut is kind of actually why he's like that, why he gets to be the immature one. If you're going to say Johnny is an equal level astronaut of the other three, he does have to be a bit more mature and actually kind of smart.
Yep.
And I think Joseph Quinn does a good job. I like him. He's charming. He's having fun. I've got nothing against him. I think I just still prefer super fun, over the top, silly Johnny, and that's not what he is. And this Johnny also isn't. They're not pretend. This is so mean. This is the meanest thing I'm ever gonna say. Johnny Storm has to be unequivocally a super hot guy, but this movie isn't pretending that Joseph Quinn is. There's no men's magazine covers of John. He's a single available bachelor. Okay. But he's not like Chris Evans level of you look at him and you're like, that is a wildly attractive man. Mm-hmm. To me.
To you. The public would disagree.
I know the public wildly disagrees. I'm alone on this.
You're dead alone on this island.
I am abandoned in the ocean, dead alone on this.
Yeah.
But I liked him, and I thought this interpretation of Johnny was actually interesting because we've seen the Chris Evans version, who's a hothead and who's a little impulsive and reckless. So I was like, oh, I actually kind of enjoyed competent Johnny more than I thought I would.
And he's still, I think, funny and playful. He does make it his own. I agree, it's apples and oranges. It's kind of hard to compare the two because Evans is definitely more of the hothead goofball. I liked Evans. It definitely was more bombastic. Whereas this, he's still funny and charming and likable, and there's an implication of all the things that works really well. And it's the implication.
No, you're right. It's fully more of an implication.
There's more of an implication, and I think that also suits this kind of button-down era that they're going for as well, of the he's not going to be shirtless doing perfume commercials like Chris Evans was. That's not what this era is. This era is more look, I'm a hot guy wearing a heavy wool jacket that does not allow you to see me in any way. That is just kind of the air of what's going on. He suits that very well. I will say this, I love, and this is more of a writing than a performative thing, but I love his relationship with Ben so much more than what Evans's relationship with Ben was, because that one from 20 years ago now was too dark. It was too Johnny and Ben should be a little combative, but brotherly combative. The 90s one was a little bit too much of hey Ben, you know how you're a freak who shatters every mirror and everyone hates you, and it's no, too much, way too much. Whereas this is more just what's up, dude? A little push. I put my finger in your soup. Ha ha ha. And these two feel actual friends who sometimes call each other fucko. That is just I'm you two feel real and brotherly and loving in how you kind of poke one another, and the writing of that, and it shines through in the performance as well. It really works.
I will agree. I think the 2000s one is especially cruel because Johnny starts being mean to Ben immediately after he turns after a rock.
Yeah.
And it's way too soon. It's like he has not adjusted to being a rock man yet. If this Johnny even like 4 years in, I don't think he makes a single rock joke.
No.
And like 1 or 2 would be absolutely fine. You are brothers and family. But you're right. There is a like wonderful family aspect between those two. And I think like the whole team at times. I mean, the car seat scene at the end is such 3 men and a baby.
That's
like,
terrific.
It's a terrific
comedy.
scene.
Great comedy.
The scene where Ben and Johnny are just both in like one of their bedrooms and like, you go check on them. I'm gonna thank you so much later when you go and check on them.
No, I'm
Round
gonna
of
thank
applause.
you because you checked on them, which I appreciate so much.
It's a pointless scene.
But it's great. It's so funny and charming.
And it's so charming. You can't see either of their faces. They're both just laid out on a couch across from each other. Yeah, there are some really nice like family moments, like cooking together, finding out Sue's pregnant together. I do like this feeling of family. I also really like the like escape from Galactus when Sue's having a baby in space. There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
And it's probably the most exciting this movie gets.
It's very layered and very cool, and
Yeah.
it's smart, but there's smart with action, with heart, with tension. There's a lot going on there that really
everyone's
works.
got something to do. Ben's piloting, Johnny's shooting the lasers, Reed's trying to come up with a plan, Sue's having a baby and still trying to make the ship go invisible. There's so much happening. That's a great sequence. It's probably the only great sequence in the movie, but it is great.
Yeah, yeah. So I agree with you that sequence does really work. Herbie is really fun and charming too. Switching his cassette tape from home to space is funny.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I love this retro futurism of this nuclear America where it's just like we've got more power, but we didn't invent microprocessors. It's fun. It works. A tape-based, homemade.
So he's got a tape, but the sounds from space are on vinyl.
Or on record,
Because you need them to be warm.
Yeah. You want them to be warmer.
When you listen to your space sounds.
Yeah. Well, it was being carved into gold records, which is like what we
you
sent
send
to
into
space,
space.
which there's no need to do it here, but it's a fun charm to that.
It is a fun charm to that. Yeah, I really loved how practical most of this movie was. Because when you find out you're doing like Fantastic Four and it's Galactus, it's a guy who eats the planet, and then it's 4 people with really silly powers, you're like, well, this is going to be a CG nightmare. Not nightmare necessarily, but a lot of CG, and it's just shockingly practical.
It's just a lot of great sets, and even stuff like obviously The Thing is CG, but I think that's very well executed and very well done visual effects. No, you're gonna disagree?
I think he looks like trash.
Ooh.
I loved this movie, and I think he looks like trash. Another point on Joseph Quinn earlier that I meant to tag on. I think his hair looks really bad, and I think I would like him a lot more with a better hairdo.
Okay.
So
I mean, it is a wig.
I don't care for any of what's happening.
Yeah.
It looks too much like his gladiator hair. I'm like, he couldn't grow it back out.
Okay. Yep.
It's got that like short emperor look.
Yep.
But anyway, I think Ben looks like garbage. His eyes are too small. His eyebrows too big. He looks ridiculous when he's wearing a hat. He can't emote. I don't feel like he's real, especially when everything else is so practical. Herbie's really there. That robot was on set every single scene. And everything else is so real, and I don't like this Ben at all. I like Evan Ross as I lost your last name.
Bachrach, yeah.
Thank you. I think he's a great Ben, but in terms of CG, I don't like the look.
Wow.
And I don't think it works, to be honest.
Wow. Okay. So I have some big VFX complaints. That's not one of them.
That was my biggest.
1,000% disagree on that. I feel that he's there. The slump of the shoulders, the emotion, the connection, him checking in on the kids. It's
the performance is great.
And I think visually, I'm like, I can't tell that you're not actually there lifting up a car. I actually think that it's like I'm on the like it's flawless what they've done with the thing. I liked that. And even Herbie, they had something on set to interact with, but that's all digital replacement later and stuff like that. I think Galactus looks really good as well. I like Galactus. I have 2 big I'm throwing up in my mouth. I thought this was so bad.
Oh, I can't wait.
My 2 big, one is the baby. Holy shit. That was, I'm going to use the word miserable. Once Franklin is born, and it's like, I'm holding a baby. And I'm like, you're holding a PlayStation 2 era digital monstrosity of a baby that does not have the same lighting, colors. Its head is gigantic. Its proportions are fucked. It's reflecting weird surfaces. Like, this is This is a complete failure. This is if for me the thing is 100% success, this baby is a 0%. Send this back to the Polar Express, Uncanny Valley, burn it with fire. I hate looking at this baby.
Okay. I am, I guess, going to agree. I thought, maybe I'm dumb. I thought the baby was real and no one knew how to hold a baby. Is genuinely what I looked up whether any cast member already had a kid. I'm like, wow, none of these people have held a baby before because none of them do.
And I think there are two shots with a real human baby. I think there are a couple of insert shots. Yes.
But yes, I also thought the baby was really like distracting every scene he was in, and I thought it was just because a baby was here. I actually didn't realize he was CG, but I'm glad he was because it explains why I just felt weird every time it showed him.
It felt weird, and like also they just kept doing shit with the baby where I'm like, stop working on this baby. Where like the four of them are talking, and the baby is changing its sight line and looking at all four of them when each one of the individuals talk. And it's like, well, that's not what babies do. And it actually looks like a haunted doll. It makes it look really bad and terrible. It would have looked way better if they just did the typical film and television thing of like, you get one insert shot of a real baby, fully swaddle it, and then in the next scene, it is you are just holding a bundle of blankets and you cannot see that it's a baby anymore. And it would have been a million times more believable.
The lack of swaddling was infuriating.
Yeah.
Babies that young aren't just supposed to be loose.
Yeah.
Wrap them up.
Not support, like, he's supporting it. No, neck support. And that's the other reason it's freaky.
You think he doesn't have cosmic powers?
Is that
his head can be held up immediately.
Its head knows where camera sight lines are. It's fucked. It's fucked.
Because my biggest complaint about the baby, and another reason I thought it was real, was because this scene had a continuity error with the baby, which I didn't think would happen if you were CGing a baby. And it's when Sue goes out to do the speech to the crowd.
Yeah.
And she's holding the baby. And I'm like, first of all, this speech sucks. It wouldn't have changed anyone's mind. They would have rushed her and taken her baby.
1000%.
But it was also just so distracting because like every time it would cut to a different angle, the baby was being held differently and he wouldn't stop shifting, and she was holding him up and then she was holding him down, and I was like, must have been a real baby or there wouldn't be all these continuity errors during her big, huge speech.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's just waving arms around and then they put a baby in later.
Why did it move everywhere?
It sucks so bad. It completely took me out of every scene.
Yeah, to the point where also like, and I think what you're saying about how this movie didn't have like enough heart maybe earlier, like I wanted to care that Galactus wanted their baby, but I was like, I don't particularly feel fond for this baby. No, now that I think about how it was like CG in the back of my head was like, it's not a real baby.
Yeah.
My subconscious maybe knew.
Well, yeah, I'm like, this imaginary character belongs with the imaginary character. Like, I actually was kind of like, give it to Galactus.
Will get along great.
Yep, a monstrous. So that was my one big visual effects. And also, I don't think the Silver Surfer looks good. I think it's again, there's some kind of craftsman technical failure here where I'm like, it's reflecting all the wrong surfaces. It seems to emit light. It's wild that when we rewatched the one from 20 years ago, it looked infinitely better.
Crazy they don't get more credit for how good that Silver Surfer looked.
Yeah.
In 2007.
The face looks wrong. The lighting and reflections are all just bad. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. It's a technical mess.
I think she wouldn't have bothered me at all, and she didn't really bother me much. I was like, whatever, she looks fine. She's made of silver. I thought she looked fine, but I think if I hadn't just rewatched the 2007 and was blown away by how good that Silver Surfer looked in retrospect, that I would have been like, oh, she looks amazing. But I'm like, have you seen 2007's Silver Surfer? He looked incredible, both practically and digitally when he was doing both versions of himself.
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, she didn't like blow me away or anything. She wasn't great.
Yeah, and I think that the best thing I could say about it is that at best, it was a creative decision that I disagree with, but it was their intention. Maybe, at worst, it's a technical failure. Because there are times where she's in a room and it seems like there's like one stripe down her left side that's emitting light that has like a lighter color silver than the rest. And that works in like a comic panel. It was almost kind of lit like a comic panel where it's like we can't use the same color silver, so we need to show these reflections and these little lighting marks and these little sparks that kind of come off her. But it wasn't motivated by where any of the lights in the scene were. So just randomly parts of her are kind of glowing in a weird comic booky way, but in a way that doesn't make a ton of sense. And she's next to lava, and they turned up the orange color filter, but they didn't change where the hot spots of her lighting were. So I'm just like, this just doesn't look, maybe it's meant to look like a comic book, and I disagree with that creative choice. Or maybe like a few of the visual effects of this movie, you ran out of time, budget, and care, and you just hit render, and it wasn't ready to be done yet. But I think it just looks real bad.
Yeah. I think she looks how they wanted her to look, to be totally honest. I mean, because like Galactus looks cool and great.
Agreed.
But like he doesn't have to reflect any light. He's kind of like, I'm too big to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, a Kirby-accurate Galactus is a wild thing that they went for, and I love that they went big, bombastic, and hard for it.
Yeah, I love that he's just a dude who eats a planet. It's just like, I think this movie was exactly what I needed, and I think I agree with what I said earlier, that I wouldn't like rewatch it necessarily, even though I really loved it, because like, it just felt nice to watch a movie that was like, it's straightforward. It's a guy who's going to eat a planet. There's no politics. There's no one being mean. There's no Trump politician stand-in, which has happened to like 18 movies we've seen in a row now. It's just everyone's nice and kind and trying their best, even the people of Earth who are all working together to try to build the teleporter. Mm-hmm. And even if it's not realistic, it just felt nice for 2 hours.
I agree with this.
To like teleport into this world. So like, yeah, I definitely like that Galactus is just, I'm a big dude. I'm going to eat your planet. Not to be mean. I have to. I have no choice in the matter. I don't even really want to. I'd love to not be hungry. It's a kind of a no villains all around. I mean, stealing a baby's not cool. But, you know, dude's got to eat.
He's cursed or whatever.
We don't feel bad when we eat, like, a cookie and it's covered in bacteria. The size differentials are the same.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just really nice to sit there and be like, everyone's just really, really nice. This is just easy to watch.
Yeah.
I don't have to, like, not that I don't have to think, but I don't have to think about the real world for 2 hours.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No parallels, but like not avoiding parallels. They're just like, we just made a Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, there's not really a parallel for a big man that eats your planet. Just whatever. I don't know. 4 people are real nice.
He doesn't represent anything.
Yeah. 4 people tried their best, and they brought the world together a little bit more, and now they're trying to fight off this guy. And, maybe they didn't quite hit that we don't trade lives metaphor as hard as, Captain America does in Infinity War.
Well, Captain America just says it, which is really helps.
But it's what it is, yeah. But yeah, it's just kind-hearted. It's nice. I like that, like, Sue is this guiding light. I love Mole Man. I fucking love Mole Man.
I could have done with a little bit more Mole Man.
I could have done with a lot more Mole Man, if I'm being honest with you.
If I'm being honest?
Anytime Mole Man wasn't on screen, I was kind of yelling, "Where's Mole Man?"
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when they announced his casting, and I was like, oh, that's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
And he didn't get enough to do, but I was so just overjoyed every time they showed him.
Paul Walter Hauser, he's been in other things. Very funny, yeah, really nails this.
Is it weird that I automatically just think of the "So I Think You Should Leave" sketch?
No, I mean, that's where my head goes to. Yeah. He stole my lines.
He stole my lines. Did they steal his lines in this? Do you think he was supposed to have more lines?
Maybe someone stole his lines. He's got to get them out faster.
Johnny Storm stole all his lines.
He's such a good Mole Man, and his relationship with Sue is terrific.
I like this a lot. It feels like they did kind of a like, because Mole Man I don't really think is usually like this in the comics, but it feels kind of a like fill in for like how Namor would always be like, well, what does Susan think?
It does feel like they did a little bit of that
Susan.
as well.
Yeah. All the dude villains are always like, Sue's pretty cool.
I don't know if they were going for a fill in for Namor, or if they were just going for the fact that like, oh, Sue does this to everybody. Everybody falls in love with Sue.
Everybody
it's
loves
Sue. So I think it might just be that kind of like Sue brought the world together.
And I think that's great.
Yeah.
And I think
she's got a bigger UN. Like she made a more United Nations.
Yeah, the Future Foundation was like, suck it, UN.
We're just bigger and better. We got the Mole Men now. We got everyone except Latveria in here. So everyone loves Sue, and I like that. Yeah, the sense of family and community and world coming together and just this this retro futurist, not quite utopia, but almost. It really works. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it feels really nice. To go back to CG, just another positive actually, because this is a CG that I really liked. I really liked what they did with the stretching for Reed. Because in the original movies, like 2000s ones, the stretching is always a joke. But Reed is a very serious man who wouldn't take his stretching ability as a joke. And I really like that the stretching always feels kind of grounded and serious because he only uses it for practical and serious reasons.
Yeah.
Like when he's like climbing, I actually kind of forgot he could stretch for a while. And then he's climbing Galactus and fucking them all up and he's super long. And I was like, I forgot you could stretch, man.
He doesn't use it a lot because he's not showy.
He's not showy. He doesn't need it for science unless the blackboard's too long. And then I'm like, that's just practical.
They do a couple of those stretchy blackboard jokes or whatever, but that's not too bad.
But yeah, because also like we have a kind of a more grounded Johnny who's not big on jokes, who's also not making stretchy jokes the same way he's not making rock jokes about Ben. So I actually really liked that it wasn't a joke power, you know? Like Reed's not a joke, and his powers aren't a joke just because they're stretchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought the stretching looked pretty good.
I thought the stretching looked pretty good as well. I agree. It was kind of body horror when he almost gets stretched apart by Galactus. That actually made me squirm.
They could have stretched him a little less, huh?
That got pretty extreme for me.
Yeah, because Ben just gets like yeeted into actual space, which is actually hilarious to like get thrown into literal space by Galactus. And then it's like, oh, he's pulling Reed. I'm like, he's going to flip him like an elastic any second now.
Nope.
No, just like
Keeps
seeing
pulling.
how long he could do it until Ben and Johnny attacked him. And it was very upsetting.
It's quite upsetting.
Yeah, it was like, I think you're really stretching the rating on this movie as much as you're stretching Reed's body right now.
I agree with this.
Not cool. We all like Pedro Pascal. Stop it.
Yep.
Stop it right now.
That was pretty nasty stuff.
Nasty boy stuff.
Now, we like Pedro Pascal. I like all of the four in this. One touch that I like in this is I like how they're softly playing the darkness within Reed. I really like what they've done here from a writing and a performative aspect of it to be like, no, Reed is a haunting intelligence that like Sue doesn't like where his brain is, and he's actually quite troubled.
He is quite troubled. Like there's an implication that before the baby's born, he's going to go full like planet dictator, which he's done in the comics a few times. And it's really only interrupted by the Silver Surfer arriving. Like he has just sent the police to arrest all of their enemies who are just chilling at home.
He has organized all of law enforcement to do a simultaneous strike down on all threats to and I quote, baby proof the city. So like I think he's turning into a full on like zero tolerance for any kind of a crime. I need to make a utopia for my child, a darkness. And then like even him in that argument with Sue, when like he's clearly thinking about trading the child as well. And just him being like, that's my job. My job is to think the darkest thoughts. And it's just like, oh man, the fact that you think that that's your job and that's what intelligence is, and everyone kind of brushes past it in a way that I like that everyone brushes past it. It's easy in this tone and in this era to accept him as a hero, and I like that the movie does that. But I like this secret darkness that they're releasing with him. It feels very comic booky.
I do like the touches, especially like knowing that like they're coming up in like Avengers Doomsday of like if Reed crosses a line, there have been hints.
Yeah.
Like if something goes on with him in Doom or whatever the plot of Doomsday ends up being, like it won't just be like Reed out of nowhere turned evil. It'd be like, go back and watch this. There are dark undertones to what Reed is capable of and what he thinks is necessary.
He would give Doom a planet if it meant saving him. You know, like he would negotiate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he even admitted, he's like, yeah, we were trying to negotiate. And if he hadn't asked for my kid, we would have negotiated.
If he asked for a different kid, Reed would have done it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he's not that good a guy.
He's not that good a guy.
He's not that good a guy.
He's a smart guy.
Oh, I think definitively. If Galactus was like, I want one human child, Reed would just grab one and yeet it into space. Like, I think that there is an unquestionable. Reed's not a Captain America, we don't trade lives, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
He's a math guy.
Yeah, he is just a like, well, the math of this makes sense.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Anything other than his own child, he would have done it, I think, in seconds. Yeah.
There is a really nice moment. I really like this whole storyline Johnny got of like translating the language to like attack the surfer with to make her go away. I thought that was a really nice plot and really executed. Johnny doesn't usually get to do cool emotional stuff like that. But I did really like when she like was like talking to him after that, and she's like, if the child was old enough, he'd just sacrifice himself like I did. I'd be like, fuck, she's right. Like, if this wasn't a baby, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's such a deeper moral quandary to have of, like, should a person sacrifice themselves for a planet the way the surfer has done?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you do need to consent to that as
You
well.
do need to consent to that. But
That's
you
a
know
very
what? He
important
also
thing.
might be able to destroy universes already and be super smart. We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. He's now, this is the Franklin of it all.
Mm-hmm.
This is one thing that in the spoiler-filled section, when you were like, or in the spoiler-free section, sorry, when you kind of mentioned like you don't need to know anything about Marvel or the MCU here. I feel like it doesn't reference other movies, but they just kind of drop Franklin on you like you know who Franklin is. And I think if you don't know the comics and that Franklin has cosmic powers and the ability to change realities, that they just kind of drop that on you. And like Galactus kind of says it, and if you just take that at face value, it's like whatever. But then bringing Sue back to life and this and that, I'm like, I feel like the movie just kind of throws that at you like you'd read the comics.
They throw Franklin, if I'm going to say it's not a standalone, they throw Franklin and Doom at you like you've read the comics. It's like, what does Latveria mean? Who's this guy in the mask? Like, they assume you know what Doom is. And there's a bit of an assumption you know what Franklin does. But also, you know what? If you're on your 39th Marvel movie, but if you know about Franklin probably. But there's not like an exploration. Like, it's not like Galactus is like, here's his future and like explains his powers or what. He's like, man, that kid's powerful. We all understand that, right?
Yeah.
We've all heard of Franklin Richards.
We all know the Omega level mutant Franklin Richards.
Who's going to probably turn the multiverse into a single verse like he did in the comics, because this is getting a little out of hand.
He can create one single universe. He can also create pocket universes. He
loves that.
He can resurrect dead heroes if he wants to as well.
Yeah, he's pretty broken powerful.
Yeah, he's kind of busted. Yeah. So
that's probably the only thing that they're like, we assume you know what this is.
Yeah. So that was the only one where I'm like, you really dropped that on us, on this hideous CGI baby. But I like Reed's darkness, and I like a lot of it.
Well, I'm going to throw a first on this podcast ever. I'm going to talk about music.
Oh, no.
Whoa, everybody, write it on your calendar. It's never happened. And the only reason I'm going to talk about music is because you have verified this for me. There's only about 30 seconds of music in this movie, but it slaps. I love the Fantastic Four stinger. The Fantastic Four. It's going to be it's like, it really hits you in the theater. And whenever these guys show up in Doomsday, I'm going to lose it because that's going to play and it's going to feel really nice to have a good, like, recognizable piece of music for a group.
Yeah. It's a great 5 seconds. It's a great 5 seconds. I do agree that this one piece, and even that, like, that vibey kind of, you hear it in, like, the trailer for the movie and in the beginning, like, ABC special, that like, boom, 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 boom. That kind of, like, Elfman-esque kind of pop around. That's fun and playful. And then, the choral Fantastic Four really works. This movie doesn't have a lot of music, though, and it's just kind of dead and quiet, and I think could use more of a score.
Maybe that's why Diana likes it.
But I agree, and then the 5 seconds of music they have is them saying the name of the movie, so that might be also why Diana likes it.
It's like a theme song, you guys. They said the name of the movie, and I do the Leonardo DiCaprio cup thing.
Yeah. So I do agree that it is a hot couple seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's so short, but it's just like, Fantastic Four doesn't have like a beat like some superheroes do. So it's nice that they're gonna have one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We're gonna milk that for years.
Oh, they'll be working that for quite a while.
I'll get sick of it. No, I won't.
No,
won't get
you
sick
probably
of it.
won't. You probably won't.
I should have brought this up when we were on the baby, because there was another. I don't know if this is a CG thing. I guess it's a CG thing. Maybe I don't know enough about pregnancy. This is about the scene where Sue makes her stomach invisible so they can look at the baby.
Sure.
Do you think babies are that close to the skin? Like, the baby was like right there.
I didn't get a sense of depth, I'm going to say, from that scene.
I thought there was a bit more like skin and fat between the baby and the edge of, like, I know you can feel when a baby kicks, but like, he looked huge. It's like, she has organs. There's got to be other stuff in there.
I think I'm going to sit this round out
But like,
due to how little I know about pregnancy and also just inability to tell depth of that scene.
fair enough. I think if they made his head too big when he came out as fully CG, I'm gonna bet he was probably too big in there.
Yeah. You know what? Now that I think about it, he might have even had a bigger head in there than he
He had
did
a
have
huge
when he
head.
was out. Yeah.
His head was huge.
Yeah, that was
It was
quite
freaking
hefty.
me out because I was like, "How's she gonna pop him out?" Like it was more upsetting than watching Reed get stretched.
Yeah.
Because she's not stretchy.
Yeah, she's not
She's
stretchy.
not a stretchy woman.
No, she can like a force field around him, and then
That doesn't help.
she can.
Your own body.
She knows. A woman knows.
You're
you
not
know?
gonna weigh in on this, huh?
No, I'm gonna say that a woman
You
knows.
just waited.
I'm just supporting women is all I'm doing from over here. I'm sorry that I'm this supportive of women and their ability to use
To
their
have-
own powers to do natural
To
childbirth.
have babies.
Yeah.
You're known for this.
Like women have been doing for millennia, using force fields to give birth to babies.
the natural evolution.
The natural way.
The natural way. But yeah, when she made the baby, when she made her stomach invisible, I was just like, I feel like this isn't. Maybe I just don't want it to be what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
When
Okay.
there's a
sure.
baby in there.
Sure. Hey, it makes ultrasounds and whatnot easier if you could just do that.
It was funny because I thought Reed was about to like put the goo on and do like an ultrasound,
Yeah.
and her just being like, "Well, just
Blam.
I got it.
I got it.
I'm the invisible woman."
Here we go.
Yeah,
I got it. And I think her force fields and invisibility looked really good too.
I liked like the
that.
little like just rainbow prisms around them to indicate that it's happening. Because like
Looked good.
you can't just make her fully invisible because like then it's like, well, we don't see anything. Or you can in some scenes, like when she like surprises Ben and Johnny.
Yeah.
And she's like, ha, and you're like, ah, fuck, she was fully invisible.
Yeah. So I liked her invisibility.
I liked her invisibility. Yeah, her big like power off scene with Galactus when she threw him into the teleporter.
Yeah.
Was like earned and cool.
That felt
felt
good.
good. That was
did
the
feel
real-
good.
I think because it was like a family scene that didn't involve the CG baby.
Yeah.
It was just a mom losing it.
Yeah. Pushing Galactus into a portal to the edge of space or whatever was just really strong.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Go Sue.
Go Sue.
Women can do anything.
Women can do anything. But yeah, I liked that kind of plan as well. The like, let's lure Galactus, let's open this portal and kind of shoot him off. I like that it went bad and that she had to push him. It wasn't as exciting as the previous outer space action scene. And the surfer just kind of fucks off for a while, which makes it feel really unearned when the surfer arrives to help, in my opinion.
Oh, I thought that felt great.
That felt good for you? Okay. I thought it'd just been like mysteriously absent for a bit too long for me to care anymore.
Oh, okay. No, I thought she'd been messed up enough by Johnny to just be like gone for a day.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm taking a personal day.
Taking a personal
I'm out.
day.
And
I'll
then
come back.
I didn't expect her to just like body Johnny out of the way and like take the sacrifice play. It
was cool.
But it was earned, in my opinion. Because I actually genuinely thought Johnny was about to go through because he dies in the comics doing something similar. I was like, oh shit, they're doing this immediately?
Yeah.
We're not going to get any more Johnny? But they showed me.
And they showed you.
I called it wrong.
You called it wrong.
But yeah, I liked the sacrifice plague. Like it's a little too similar to the first Fantastic Four of like the surfer gets rid of Galactus for you because we don't know how to do it.
I mean, yeah.
They knew how to mostly. They were 90% of the way there.
But it's also, 1,100 comics where it's like you need the Herald to stop Galactus because it's only someone with the power cosmic that can stop someone with the power cosmic. So it's like this has been played pretty regularly.
There's one comic I really like. Do you want me to go through a couple ways to beat Galactus?
Okay, lay it on me.
There's one comic I really like where Reed, I don't want to say shrunk him, but he like turned him back into like the human man he was before he became Galactus.
Oh, okay.
So he just like wasn't big enough to eat the world anymore. So it was basically shrinking him. But he also like didn't have any powers. He didn't hunger anymore. He was just like, fuck, I'm just tiny and regular again.
Huh.
So you can like just shrink him.
Shrink him. Yeah.
Shrink 'em, you
Then he
get-
eats less.
And then then you just give him like a granola bar.
Yeah, probably just an earth-based granola bar.
Some kind of protein powder drink. What are the other ways? Johnny became the Silver Surfer once and was just like, no, I'm not going to show you any worlds. Fuck you, dude.
I remember that. Yeah, fuck you, dude. Yeah.
I can't think of any other ways off the top of my head.
All right. Yeah.
But
I think Squirrel Girl beat him once because like she's always out there doing some zany stuff.
that running joke doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of neutral on it.
To me, me, that's America's ass from Endgame. Like, that runner's not anything. Yeah, Squirrel Girl can beat anyone. Isn't anything to me.
No, it doesn't quite do it. But I like the plan. I like that final action scene. I think it looked pretty good. On the last, I think like of the visual effects of the movie, the last one I wanted to bring up was Johnny's flames. How did you feel about Johnny's flames?
I didn't love them. They felt more like they were magic than they were like a spell had been put on him to create flames, that the flames were coming out of him. Because also, like, they didn't ever affect anything. Like, when he was wearing just regular clothes, he didn't burn away.
Yeah.
When he would, like, carry people, I'd be like, no, you can't. Yeah, it didn't, it kind of just felt like over his body, and not like it was coming out of his body.
This was one where I could go. I'm a hair away from falling the opposite direction, but I do like it. I think that it is the style where they went for, like, it looks like it should be drawn flames coming out of him, kind of similar to the drawn style of the Silver Surfer, but it felt more purposeful and with intent. And when he's grabbing someone, flames are only coming out of his back.
They do a pretty good job of maintaining that.
And I think it felt less body horror than it could have been as well, like the full flame version, and it felt very like, oh no, I have the power of a sun. I'm actually kind of a broken, powerful mutant, or not mutant, but like metahuman. And we're scaling that back a little bit to a more
like
attainable.
broken, powerful Johnny though, but Johnny's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
Somehow I like when
you
he's like super strong.
You would.
So I actually liked seeing like the rare use of his powers to absorb flames, which hardly ever happens in the opening montage.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we never talk about that power. That power has uses.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, something's about to explode, and you're like, not if I pull all the heat out of it, and then it doesn't even explode. Yeah. You can do it that way. But yeah, I thought they looked good. Like, I know it was easier to see Joseph Quinn, and he had a lot of dialogue while on fire. I think more so than Chris Evans did. So I kind of get the reasoning behind it. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite of the flame effects. I don't really remember what Michael B. Jordan looked like when he was on fire. But like effects wise, I don't remember if I hated that movie.
Yeah. All right, the last couple things that I do want to talk about is end credit and connection stuff to the general MCU. This is something that Marvel movies now for a long while have been kind of flubbing for since, I can't remember the first one where it was like, oh, you went off and none of this is connected or meant anything or had any real impact. But it's been a couple phases.
It's been a while.
Since Endgame, basically.
I'm going to say No Way Home had Venom, and then it didn't make any sense when Venom 3 came out.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm going to say that was the first one that didn't count.
Yeah, Doctor Strange introduced Charlize Theron as Cleo. Eternals introduced
Harry Styles.
We're still waiting
Eros.
For him. There we go. He's coming back.
We're still waiting for him to come back.
They also introduced Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Thor 4, Roy was Hercules. Roy Kent.
They introduced Hercules. Yep, and then there were a couple of other ones. We've introduced Scar, Hulk's son. That was a Disney Plus, I think, post-credit. So there's been quite a few. Shang-Chi introduced that the rings were calling something from space that they've never brought back.
Damn it. I'm going to lose on my bet on that. I said that was going to be Galactus.
And that would have made a bunch of sense in some way.
That was my bet, that it was calling Galactus. Yeah, that one hasn't paid off.
I mean, it could still be that Earth's Galactus, because that's 616 and this was 428.
This is a good time for me to mention our theory that Micro from Punisher is just an alternate version of Ben Grimm, who is played by the same man.
Played by the same actor. Evan is both versions, but he's 616's Micro, and then he's 428's Ben Grimm.
They could meet each other.
They could. It would be nice. So a lot of things haven't connected for a while, but in this one now we get a Doctor Doom tease with we're leading up to Doomsday.
If Doctor Doom doesn't actually appear, this is fucked. Because it's called Doomsday and they got RDJ. So it is nice to have an after credit that will finally matter after 3 or 4 years of literally none of them paying off.
Yeah, this might be the first one that has paid off since before Infinity War, because Infinity War didn't have one.
Because even Matt Shackman, who's directed this movie, did a great job, has said the Thunderbolts one, he's like, they didn't really consult me. There's no plane.
I was also very curious about that. I was kind of waiting for when do they go to get help from another dimension. And yeah, that's a big concern for me to be like, so you did Doom in this one, but you don't seem to have connected the 4 get in that ship and go to Earth 616 in Thunderbolts. It kind of seems like no one knows what they're doing next. Huh, about that.
How do we think Doomsday is going to be?
I think Doomsday is going to be a mess.
I think Doomsday is going to be a mess, and I think a big part of Doomsday being a mess is going to be that, like, all the characters who are left in the MCU don't interact and don't know each other, and it just won't have any impact. Because, like, when you watch Infinity War and Endgame, you're like, well, I've seen 3 Avengers and 2 Guardians movies, and these people love each other, and they know each other, and, like, most of Doomsday is just going to be like, hi, my name's Captain Marvel, and you're Shang-Chi. Oh, that's great. It's just going to mostly be introductions.
Yeah.
No one's gonna. I'm Reed Richards of the Fantastic. This is the Fantastic Four. You're Spider-Man. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's gonna be mostly introductions. And I'm not so. I mean, I think we've said this publicly already. I'm not excited for RDJ as Doctor Doom. That's boring.
Yeah.
That's the most boring choice.
And to tease it here and not even get RDJ as well, I'm like, well, what do we? Okay.
I was actually really hoping for like a different Doom, and like Doomsday would be multiple Dooms, and RDJ would be a minimal Doom.
Sure.
Like a Council of Reeds.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Because we've already seen multiple Reeds. I mean.
Yeah. We've seen John Krasinski.
John Krasinski.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not just the guy from The Office, which
No.
is what I was going to call him.
No, he's not
You're
Jim.
nice and you
He's
know
not
people's
Jim.
names.
No. But yeah, I'm okay with this Doom tease because it is something that will connect to a thing. Probably, but I also thought that Thunderbolts Fantastic Four thing would connect. And
We
it
were
seems
so
that,
excited. We were like, oh, one that matters.
yeah. Oh, the post credit of Fantastic Four will be why they're jumping over to this Earth to ask for help. And so it seems like this Fantastic Four post credit will connect, but we've just got no faith in communication between departments, directors, and people who are doing stuff.
No, I'm almost would just prefer if we just like, I mean, I really like that the very end credit is just a fun cartoon. I was like, oh, this is just fun.
Yeah.
It's just the cartoon of the
I agree.
Fantastic
That was also
Four.
very fun.
This is
Very
nice, and I don't have to like go online and be like, what does it mean that there was a cartoon of the Fantastic Four? Google.
Yep. Yeah.
Just a fun little like, this is what the cartoon was.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But yeah, the lack of communication for end credit scenes makes it way less exciting to stay and wait for them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna watch something that doesn't matter.
And I think it's as well like one of the big things that this phase is having is that Shackman I think did do a good job of this movie, especially for the stylization of it and everything like that. It was a director with a vision that executed it. That I have some complaints about visual effects and some script work, but I think this is an executed artistic vision. But Marvel up to Infinity War Endgame was like executive producers Ryan Coogler, James Gunn, Jon Favreau, Russo's. And it's 4 directors who was like, you own Wakanda, you own space, you own Iron Man, you own Captain America. Mm-hmm. It's like you have that authorial ownership over those characters and their tones and their color palette and their journey and their places. And now when we go into this next one, I'm like, who has ownership over the Fantastic Four style? Is Shackman going to have a producer credit? Because it seems like no one's telling him what they're doing in other movies, which is the exact opposite of Infinity War when they're like, Coogler, we can't do Wakanda without you. It's the exact opposite of the like, well, we're just not going to consult you. You don't own these characters. We do as a corporation. So yeah, I don't know. We're getting into bigger things here now. I'm going off on a rant here.
No, but your criticisms are valid. When the teaser is for the next Avengers movie, which includes everyone, then this is where we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's where it comes in.
Yeah.
That's where it comes to play. But yeah, I agree. There's no sense of tone for anyone because everyone who's left hasn't had consistent directorial uses. Like even like Doctor Strange, who's probably the oldest returning, has had multiple directors and like good directors. Sam Raimi. I forget who directed the first one. Derek, someone, but like
I can't call
it was very good direction. But like no one owns this character. There's no director character attribution like there was in the first 3 phases.
Yeah.
Of like this director knows how this works, knows the vibes, knows the feel.
The space is 80s is the 80s because James Gunn said that the space is the 80s. There's none of that. There's just going to be it's in New York. What does New York look like? I don't know. Whatever the fuck we can afford the set to look like for New York. Like there's it's not Spider-Man's New York. There's no definitive vision.
Mm-hmm. There's no definitive vision. And not bringing in the other directors to executive produce or like not having a vision is a problem. I will hold out a little ounce of positivity and hope and optimism because the Russos have done a good job every time. The Russos don't have any sinkers.
Yeah.
And I think they got the same writing team back. I think it's Marcus and McFeely again. So
Right.
they've done all they can on the back end.
Yeah.
So I'll hold out a little bit of hope and give them the benefit of the doubt.
I'll hold out. I'll also
And I like
hold a
this
little
Fantastic
bit of
Four
hope.
enough to be like, I hope they're just the mains and it's about them.
I kind of hope so too, and they're the only ones with like a style.
With a style, and coming in with like heat.
Yeah.
Because everything else is kind of like, I mean, Thunderbolts was very critically received, but it didn't make any money. So there's that. Yeah, but it would actually be wildly interesting if they like did meet the Thunderbolts immediately, like in the end credit scene, to be like the most dark and like sad team, and then this wholesome 60s like, hey guys, how's it going, champ?
Yeah.
And then Bucky's like, I've been tortured and had my arm ripped off and brainwashed to kill my best friend, and they're like, oh boy,
Weird over here.
616 is dark.
Weird over here. Well, let's go into the close. Let's ask the final question of what would you change. So now that we've discussed everything we've discussed, what would you change about this if you could change anything? Before we do ask that final question, we will remind you, as we do every week, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast Addict, wherever it is that you get your podcasts. It helps us move up the charts, find new listeners, warms our hearts. And when new people do find us, they check those reviews and the star rating. It makes it more likely that new listeners will actually give us a chance, which is all we need to hook you.
We just need a chance, guys. Just put us in, coach.
Give reviews a chance. And while you're there, do it for a couple of your favorite podcasts, because this means a lot to all of us. It's how our industry finds new listeners. So take like 5 minutes, do it for a few of your favorite podcasts. And that's a free way to support the show. If you do want to support the show monetarily, you can do that over on our Patreon page, which is a monthly subscription service. You can subscribe at whatever is in your budget and get cool bonuses for doing so. $1 a month will get you our webcomic early. $3 will get you these episodes early and ad-free. $10 will get you an exclusive bonus episode of this podcast with immediate access to the full back catalog of all of our previous bonuses as well. So lots of cool options depending on your budget. You can sign up for a year and then you'll get 1 month free. Or if you'd rather do monthly, you can also then just cancel or change if your budget changes next month as well. There's no obligation or problems in that regard. So check it all out.
Check it all out. And if there's something we cover and you just want to listen to that one thing, you can buy individual episodes for $5. Last month we did Ironheart. It's the only way you can hear our reviews of the Disney Plus show. And then before that we did Predator. It's not called Killer of Killers. The Hulu.
It is Killer of Killers.
Is it Killer of Killers?
Yeah, I believe you nailed it.
I doubted myself.
Never.
But 2 banger episodes and the whole back catalog's there. So you can buy individual episodes or you can subscribe and get them all, baby.
So check it out. It's all over at patreon.com/fromsuperheroes. That is patreon.com/fromsuperheroes. And thank you to all of our current and future patrons.
Thank you so much, patrons.
And now let's go in for the close. Let's ask the final question of what would you change? So now that we have discussed everything we've discussed, what would you change about this? If you could change anything, Diana, what would you change?
Don't settle in. Don't stay long. My change is short. Ben is practical. I really hated this CG Ben. I really wanted to feel like he was there and like he was interacting and like his face had no emotion for me, and like Eben's doing such a good performance that I just didn't feel like it matched at all. So I am going to have a practical Ben, the way that everything else in this movie, not everything, but the way the majority of other things in this movie are practical. He doesn't have to look like Michael Chiklis. He can look practical in a different way. There's different makeups we can do. But honestly, that is my biggest thing that took me out of this movie that I really wanted to like. I really wanted a practical Ben. Didn't like that he was CG. He didn't feel real in the way that other CG characters have felt real, like Rocket or Thanos or characters like that. I just didn't feel like a real guy. So if you can't make them feel real, you got to make them practical. Those are my new rule. Look out, everybody. So it's short, it's sweet. I don't really have anything beyond that. I really enjoyed this movie. Andrew, what would you change?
I would change. This is one of the rare moments where I'm not going to piggyback on yours because I respectfully disagree.
Respectfully disagree, sir.
Respectfully disagree, madam. But my change would be we need to add a first act to this movie. Its structure is weird. It's not even quite a 2-act structure, which is kind of like theater plays, and there's a way to do that is successful. It's just kind of messy. I don't need an origin story, but my big change to kind of make this work a little bit more is we've got to get rid of whatever the hell Mark Gaddis's talk show is. It doesn't work as a framing device. I don't know why he's standing on a stage telling me about his guests tonight. When like this style, when it opens of like, it's an ABC special event. We're telling you about the Fantastic Four 4 years ago. And it says everything. And then why we're doing a stage thing that they don't show up to. Give me like 3 minutes of that. Like, here's where the Fantastic Four are. We love them. Go right into fighting Mole Man. I want to fight.
Mole Man.
I want to fight with Mole Man and show me like it's playful, it's fun, it's joyous. There's tension. There's a fight. We're going around. We're doing stuff. They don't do anything for a long time in this movie. So I think the first act it can be started with they're already there. Get rid of the talk show, and we have a fight with Mole Man. And then they talk down Mole Man, and it still hypes up Sue and hypes up them as these negotiators who can actually make peace. And then it makes it that much more troubling when that doesn't work later.
Ooh, great parallel.
To be like,
great thematic work.
We go and we fight, but we make peace. And then when that doesn't work later, it actually means something. Whereas right now, it's just kind of pittering and filling time for a while before it finds whatever the plot is. So I want Mole Man. I want more Mole Man. I don't want that the building collapsing. I don't want that to be a quick flash in this ABC special. Like, remember when this happened? And now I'm on stage, and my guests tonight are.
It can be like the news is currently there watching it happen.
Yeah. So I think we start with more Mole Man stuff, and we earn a negotiation, and we keep the runtime the same, because right now it doesn't have a first act. There's a bunch of stuff that can be cut and replaced with any kind of a story whatsoever.
I'm cool with this, because more Mole Man is very fun.
Yeah.
I'm cool with an action sequence instead of a montage, as long as it's some kind of status quo setter. I think that's great.
Yeah.
And also, I never understand how Mark Gaddis gets work. He gets work in all of these nerdy properties, and no one I know likes him or thinks he's any good. He's Sherlock's brother in Sherlock. He's in multiple Doctor Who episodes because he's the writing partner of Stephen Moffat. And now he's here. There's only like 6 credited people in this movie, and he's one of them. It's a wildly small cast for a team superhero film.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Mark Gaddis keeps getting work as like his writing seems fine, but as an actor, it makes no sense to me.
He's in so many nerd properties, and he seems like someone, if he was doing a signing at a con, wouldn't have a lineup.
No one would be paying $80 to get Mark Gaddis' signature. The only reason you would be like, can I ask you about Stephen Moffat?
Yeah.
Just to like pick his brain about other famous people.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Would be the only reason to go to his panels.
It's been a strange career, and he's so cuttable in this movie.
Oh, wildly cuttable.
Wildly, he doesn't interact with any of the characters.
But he also like doesn't sell that character. I'm not like, oh, this show. Like I'd be like, no one's watching this show.
I agree.
You're not charming. You're not nailing it.
You're not Johnny Carson. You're not Ed Sullivan. You're just kind of you saying the lines.
You're unfortunately Mark Gaddis.
Yeah.
It's the problem.
Yeah, it's not of the era of the time.
I don't know how you keep getting these huge acting roles.
I agree. It's very
Friends
strange.
just giving you favors.
Yeah. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So get that out of here.
Love this change.
Get that framing device out of here and replace it with more Mole Man in the first act to actually add a first act to this movie.
I'm cool with that.
Sweet.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that is it for this episode. Thank y'all very much for listening. As always, we will be back next week, and next week we are talking
hold on to your
about. That's right. Next week is our 500th episode.
500. That seems impossible.
Bicentennial, y'all.
That number's really big.
Yeah.
Have you thought about how big that number is?
That's a lot of episodes. We've talked a lot of shit.
Shit is the right way to describe what we've done.
Yeah, we've done a lot here. But for our 500th episode, we decided to go back and revisit our first episode of the podcast. And we're going to revisit Deadpool, which was our first episode of the podcast ever. And we've changed how we talk about movies, the format, all of it. So why not go back and revisit where we started from whence we came for the bicentennial?
I'm actually really excited. Not to to go back to Deadpool, first of all, just like a really simple, straightforward superhero movie. And also to be like, we're not going to re-listen to the old episode, but afterwards I will. And I'll be like, did we talk about the same stuff? How much have we changed? What would we change?
I won't even re-listen to that first episode afterwards.
I will, because I'm curious about our past.
I know you are.
About young us when we were full of hope and dreams.
Young and wide-eyed. Well, we'll be doing that next week on the podcast. Thank y'all for listening to 500 episodes of us. We will be back next week. In the meantime, if you want to get a hold of us, you can find me online most places at Ivimey, Ivimey.
You can find me at Words of Diana.
And you can find both of us at From Superheroes and see everything we create on our website, fromsuperheroes.com. And we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.